This screencast is just giving some quick instructions about how to create or how to embed a Twitter feed into your landing page. So the first thing you would want to do is to create a new blank page, which is going to become your new landing page. I'm just going to call it landing page. Maybe I will just call it Twitter page. I'm going to make it available to users. There it is, and I'm just going to move it right up the top. Alright, so what I want to do now is go to the BJBS landing page site. Now, how do you get into this site? The way you get into it is first of all to click into organisations. Do an organisation search for BJBS landing page. You can just put BJBS in there if you like. Okay, there you go, you can see it there. Click on enroll and submit, and then OK. Okay, and here we are, now we're in the landing page. Alright, so once you've got into the landing page site, just scroll down here, look at the dynamic landing pages and click on social feed. I'm going to make sure I'm in edit mode. And then I'm going to take all of that page. So I'm just going to click on HTML, click right up the top, Control C to copy and then cancel, and then back to my other page. So back in this page, my new one called Twitter page, I'm going to click on HTML again, and I'm going to paste all of that, and then update and submit. So this gives me the basic framework for having a Twitter feed in my page. Now what I want to do now is I want to change this Twitter feed from the YouImagine Twitter feed to one that I want. So I'm going to just pretend that I really want to put in a feed from the Australian Psychological Society. Now, because your Twitter feed can come from a site that you've developed, so it can be your own Twitter account or it can be someone else's Twitter account. So what I'm going to do is just go over to a different site for a minute. Okay, so here I am logged into Twitter. Now the thing is about getting the feed is you really need to be logged into Twitter to be able to get the feed from someone else's site. So I've logged in and looked up I just did a quick search to look up the APS, or the Australian Psychological Society. And now that I've got that link, I'm just going to go into user actions and I'm going to say embed this profile. I'm going to change the height of it to make it about 600 pixels and the width maybe about 400 pixels. Okay, I'm going to make it light. Language will be automatic, and then I'll update that. And this is the way it will then come in. See how it's a lot smaller? I can then quickly just copy that code, and then I'll go back to my site, click on HTML. Now, this is a little bit more tricky, but if you go down, if you have a quick look down here in the, oops, there we go. If you have a quick look down here into the section that says what's happening, I can see a link right there. See there, this is where it says what's happening. And this right here, this section right here, right down to the end of script, that's the bit that has the current Twitter feed coming in from YouImagine. Now you've got to make sure it ends with script and it starts with the A. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that, leave some spaces in there, and then I'm just going to do Control V and paste the Twitter feed that I've just taken from the Australian Psychological Society. Then I'm going to click Update. And then you can see how it's changed here, but I can't see it coming in as a feed yet. But when I click Submit, and then change the edit mode to off, now I can see the tweets are coming in from the Australian Psychological Society, which is fantastic. Now what I might want to do now is just going in and changing the heading. I'm going to say what's happening in our profession. Let's pretend this is a 300 level psych subject. I can put that in here. I can go through and change any information there on the left hand side, and I might even want to change the heading there so it's something much more related to psychology, which I clearly can't think of off the top of my head, so I'm just going to put something extremely bland there, and then I'm going to submit that. All right, so that's how to embed a Twitter feed in a page. Of course, then the next step would be to go through, if I wanted to make this my home page, I'd rename the link. Instead of calling it Twitter page, I'd call it home and click the little arrow. I would probably move that up to the top above the subject outline, and then I would go down to teaching style, and I'd make my entry point the home page. So then when I click edit mode off, you can see that it comes straight away, and I have a beautiful feed coming in from the professional network, which is great because my students are then linking into what's happening in their profession. I can have my own text coming in on the left, and I've got a really professional looking dynamic landing page.